Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. All right. So shout out to everybody who is in the room early. It's good to see each and every one of you. If you guys can hear me, please give me a thumbs up or a radiation emoji in the chat. If you guys cannot hear me, give me a thumbs down or an angry face. All right. While you guys are doing that, I'm going to shout out everybody who is in the building early. All right. Shout out to Jerry Bedford. We got Miss Nisi in the house. Shout out to Rob from Denver. We got Volvo 2 Love. We got my man James Hudson up in here. We got Carlton Way in the building. All right. Carlton said I can picture Tupac or 3-6 Mafia on that beat, man. I'm telling you, that beat, that's Twister, man. That's a Twister beat. You know what I'm saying? From back in the day when he called himself Tongue Twister. You know what I'm saying? And Do or Die. That's the Chicago cats got to get on that beat. Plus, it's the migrant crisis. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all, man. It's good to see y'all. I hope that everybody is doing good today. Bang on that like button if y'all haven't. If you're watching and you're not subscribed to the channel, keep being a weirdo or hit the bell twice. All right. Also, make sure that you guys watch the video all the way through because it'll take you into Just Talking with TD and Rob, where me and TD are going to chop it up. All right. So, what we're going to talk about is New York City going for broke. And here's the hows and the whys. All right. An article here from the Wall Street Journal lays out the fact that New York plans to spend billions more on the migrant crisis. And you see they got your girl Kathy Hochul right there looking confused as always. All right. Looking confused. It's a crazy state of affairs. The people that are supposed to have all the answers always seem to look the most confused. You think that's by accident? Or you think the reason why they got elected is because of how confused they always look? which one of y'all think that it is? Let me know what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? New York State officials said they would direct another $2.4 billion to the fund of the cost of caring for migrants in New York City, adding to the fiscal toll of a crisis that has overwhelmed the city's normal network of homeless shelters. Box Bros. The Box Bros out here down bad. You know what I'm saying? The Box Bros out here down bad. They diverting all the resources from the Box Bros to the undocumented bros. You know what I'm saying? Both Governor Kathy Hochul and New York Mayor Eric Adams on Tuesday unveiled budgets for the next fiscal year. Particularly in the city, the cost of caring for tens of thousands of migrants who have come to New York, usually after crossing the southern border illegally, has come to dominate municipal spending calculations. So the people who are not even paying taxes are dominating the calculations for the migrant crisis. Make it make sense. Shout out to Kid Gravity. What's good with it, bro? Make it make sense. Why is the spending being prioritized this way? Is my question for you guys. Shout out to Jesse. What's good with it? Why is the spending being calculated this way? Somebody make this make sense. Shout out to AB Promotions, by the way. AB Promotions is the one that shot this article to your boy. You know what I'm saying? Without real immigration reform. All right, so when they lead with without real immigration reform, what does that tell you? When they lead starting out talking and saying without real immigration reform, what does that imply? I need y'all to let me know in the comment section what that implies, okay? Without real immigration reform and a decompression strategy at the border, there will be no end in sight, Adam said. So now you see, Adam said, and a decompression strategy at the border. You never usually see him say anything addressing the border. So that's interesting that Eric Adams came out and said without a decompression strategy at the border. Because what that might imply is that Eric Adams might be open and might be willing to do something a little bit more at the border than what most of these people have been willing to do. You know what I'm saying? If you guys agree with that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. The extra state funding from Hochul was welcomed by city officials who project the cost of providing food, shelter, medical care, and other services to the migrants to reach around $10 billion through the summer of 2025. Now, let me ask you guys this question. How much money is going to be reinvested into the people of New York City? Now, my question is, are the people of New York City at the ground level in the faces of these politicians demanding the amount of money spent on the migrants to be spent on them? That's my question. Are they making an effort to make that known? Because you know what they say, a closed mouth don't get fed. And even if your mouth is open, sometimes people just still ain't gonna feed you. Now, but if your mouth is open, it might make a nice thumbnail for a YouTube video, though. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed the like button yet, we got 17 likes and we got 19 people watching. If we could all smash the like button and get that to 30, that would be great. The number of people in the city's care has steadily increased to around 69,000 since Republican officials in border states began sending migrants north on charter buses in the summer of 2022. Adams faces a $7.1 billion deficit that he said was exacerbated by the cost of caring for migrants. Now, let me ask you guys something. It probably is very expensive to care for all these people, right? Which is one of the reasons why it's interesting that they just keep wanting these people to come. But the other thing is that a lot of these situations here in these cities, these sanctuary cities, are situations where these mayors, their friends, and their business partners have received the benefits of a lot of these no bid contracts. A lot of people have been beneficiaries of the no bid contract, and as a result, they're making a lot of money. And as a result, they haven't been shopping around, and as a result, they're paying high prices. As a result of them paying high prices, that probably, if they had bids on these contracts, that could have been some money that these places could have saved, right? So now let me ask you guys this question. Out of all of this money and all of this deficit that's been caused, my question for you guys is about how much of these costs do you all feel probably self-induced? It's definitely self-induced if you declare yourself a sanctuary city and say that you will take in everybody. And then when everybody comes, you say, wait a minute, this party was invitation only, when at first it was open invitation, right? There's that. And that's something that's not really being addressed. In November, the Democratic mayor announced budget cuts that forced the closure of libraries on Saturdays and would have reduced the police force through attrition. On Tuesday, Adams said that the city would reverse on some of those cuts, including reinstating an April 2024 police academy class of 600. So now, is anybody surprised that when it comes to reversing the budget cuts, the first cut that Eric Adams would reverse is the police one? Is anybody surprised about that? The first cut that Eric Adams decided to reverse is the police one. We all know that Eric is pro cop, right? So this shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. And shout out to Ty Valentine. Ty Valentine says, and when you have a right to shelter law being manipulated. Yeah, facts. Now, here's my question as far as right to shelter law manipulation. Have they done anything further to try to get that law either reinterpreted or taken off the books in New York City, or has that all just fallen through? Let me know what you guys think. Returning a fifth firefighter to 20 engine companies and restoring funding for 170 community schools. The mayor said that the city was able to reduce the projected cost of migrant care by roughly $1.7 billion over 2 fiscal years, and now projects that it will spend $10.6 billion through 2025. Now, here's my question. If you haven't reduced the amount of migrants, have you actually reduced the migrant cost? What they've done is they've actually reduced the budget, right, by taking away services from non-migrants. So they didn't reduce migrant costs. You can only reduce migrant costs if you reduce migrant numbers or if you spend less money on the actual migrants. And neither one of those things is happening. Neither one of those things is happening, is it? Okay, so now here it says, you see, okay. He said the city saved some money in part by kicking people out of shelters after a period of 30 to 60 days. We made tough but necessary decisions about spending and saving early in the budget cycle, Adams said on the budgeting process. Adams will negotiate with the city over a final spending plan of roughly $109 billion. Over roughly $109 billion for the city fiscal year starting July 1st. He has repeatedly called on the state and federal government. Hold on real quick. Okay. To provide funding to cover the city's costs related to the migrants. New York has helped migrants file 23,000 work authorizations, temporary protected statuses, and asylum applications, Adams said in December. Now, here's my question. He's done all that, right? Now, my question is, if he wants some type of quote-unquote border decompression strategy, my question is, what has Eric Adams done to help facilitate a border decompression strategy? Let me know in the comment section. What has Eric Adams done to help facilitate a border decompression strategy? That's what he said that he wanted, right? Those were his words, that he wanted a border decompression strategy. What has he done to facilitate that?
Cold weather. There's been a lot of attention on migrant families who are being evicted from local shelters after 60 days.
All right, Fox 5's Morgan McKay live outside the Roosevelt Hotel in Midtown of Morgan. Both immigration advocates and local politicians are demanding an end to this policy.
Exactly, Stephen, Teresa. As everyone knows, it has been freezing out here, and this new policy that evicts migrant families with children after 60 days has been in place for almost 2 weeks. Now, behind me, you can see the Roosevelt Hotel. This has been serving as a welcome center for newly arriving migrants, and now the reticketing center for migrant families with eviction notices.
Our mayor is a slumlord.
City council members and immigration advocates.
Now, let me ask you guys this question. You guys see who's coming at Eric Adams all crazy? It's the very people that Eric Adams is prioritizing over foundational Black Americans. So when are people going to learn about these goofy movements? Eric Adams don't have anybody to blame for any of this except for himself. Now, what I find fascinating is that Eric Adams had the nerve to tell Black people to stop listening to drill music, which isn't a crime, but he doesn't have the bravery and the courage to tell people to stop illegally crossing into the country, and that actually is a crime. Let me ask you guys this question. Why do you think that is? Why do you guys think that is? Does that make any sense? That doesn't make too much sense, does it?
Blasting Mayor Eric Adams and his administration for implementing a policy that evicts migrant families with children after 60 days. If these families cannot find their own housing within that time, they have to return to the Roosevelt Hotel and reapply for shelter. While a similar policy for single adult migrants has been in place for several months, this new recent policy change that now impacts migrant families with children has many, including the city council speaker, pushing back against the mayor.
I urge
Shout out
the
to
mayor
Sybil. What's good with it,
to
Sybil?
abandon this counterproductive and cruel tactic.
Adrian Adams. Yo, what's up with Adrian Adams? She doesn't ask the mayor to stop being cruel and locking and blocking out Black people from access to funds and policy, but she's out on the front lines of trying to make sure that these people who haven't paid a dime in taxpayer dollars but spend billions in taxpayer dollars, making sure that they get coddled. What's up with that? Who would vote her into office? Somebody make that make sense. Who would vote her or Eric Adams into office? Somebody make that make sense. Let me ask you guys this question. Who put these people in these positions?
And instead, pursue more sound management.
Last week, the administration amended this policy so that pregnant migrants in their third trimester and women with newborn babies will not receive eviction notices until their babies turn.
Real quick, guys, if you guys haven't smashed that like button, smash the like button. If you guys haven't shared the stream, share the stream. If you're not subscribed, hit that bell twice.
6 months old. In response to the rally, the Adams administration says they've had to make these drastic policy decisions because they're out of room and resources to care for such a large number of migrants, calling
Carlton,
again
there
for
go
a
the
federal
bus.
solution.
Hey.
More than 107
You say, hey, Carlton. There go the bus. You know what I'm saying? You see the bus? Shout out to the bus.
70,000 migrants have received care since the spring of 2022, and 68,000 migrants are currently being housed by the city. Deputy Speaker.
Yeah, the migrants have been weaponizing pregnancies and reproduction and everything ever since Dreamers, and probably even before that. They probably been doing that ever since before that. You know what I'm saying?
Diana Ayala disagreed with the mayor that the city is out of room.
I've been in meetings where I have been told directly that one of the motives for this policy is really to make people uncomfortable enough. So I don't believe that the mayor is being honest.
Advocates also say that moving kids around to different shelters disrupts their education, with some kids being forced to.
They worried about them. Hold on real quick. Hold up. They're mad about moving the migrant kids around to different shelters, right? They mad about that. They mad about moving the migrant kids around to different buildings, but they don't care about moving the actual students of Madison High School to different buildings. Make that make sense. Somebody make that make sense. Did y'all catch that? If y'all caught that, give me a thumbs up. If y'all didn't catch that, give me a thumbs down.
Really to make people uncomfortable enough. So I don't believe that the mayor is being honest.
Advocates also say that moving kids around to different shelters disrupts their education, with some kids being forced to.
Now, I want you guys, shout out to JW, what's good, bro? I want y'all to answer this question for me in the comment section. If moving the kids from different migrant shelters disrupts their education, what does it do when you move the actual students out of the school to house migrant families there? And you give the students, you know, Zoom classes and stuff like that. C-19 disrupted a lot of people's education too. Who cared? You know what I mean? Like, who cared about that? Somebody make that make sense. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we got 27 people watching and we got 24 likes. If everybody can bang on that like button and get that to 40, that'd be great.
To bounce around to different schools.
They have not been getting all the help this administration claims they've been giving them. These human beings are being moved from shelter to shelter.
Now, are the homeless people being moved from shelter to shelter? Do they even have a shelter? They use homeless people in propaganda. They use homeless people for propaganda in New York City to say that black people are attacking Asians. That's what they use homeless people for in New York. They use them as props for crime reports. So what is this dude talking about? You don't never see none of these Latino people advocating for the homeless people of New York City. Now, my question is, why is that? Why don't more people point that out? You know what I mean?
Administration claims they've been giving them. These human beings are being moved from shelter to shelter. Shelter staff have lost their mail and say that since they moved, they had to return their mail to sender. These are life.
Who the hell would be sending a mail, and how would they know where they at? Who would be sending these people mail, and how would they know where to send the mail to? Make it make sense.
Changing documents.
Now, according to a recent Siena College poll that came out this morning, more than 80% of New Yorkers say that the recent migrant influx is a serious problem. Reporting live, I'm Morgan Mackay. Steve and Teresa, back to you.
All right, so we're going to take our own poll in here, right? Because it's important to collect our own data. This is the best sample size that we can get our hands on as of right now. How many people see the quote unquote recent migrant influx as a problem? If you guys see the recent migrant influx as a problem, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't see the recent migrant influx as a problem, give me a thumbs down. Okay. So now here says Hochul, who is also a Democrat, said that she would include $2.4 billion of migrant spending in her budget for the state fiscal year beginning April 1st. State officials approved $1.9 billion in funding for migrants last year. The additional money will pay for 10 cities on Floyd Bennett Field, which we all know is a disaster already. How many times have we talked about Floyd Bennett Field in Brooklyn, as well as the operations of migrant relief centers at the state psychiatric hospital in Queens and on Randall Island, Hochul said. And it's been going down at all of these places. You got people outside fighting each other with poles, looking wild, like a turf battle on a zombie movie. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Some of the scenery, you had the video that we watched the other guy where the guy was just carrying the body around like the woman was a rag doll. It's ridiculous. How many people saw that where the guy was carrying the body around like the lady was a rag doll? You just flopping in and out. You know what I'm saying? She had on a bathrobe in some 0-degree weather with snow on the ground, and lady just sprawled all out like she had a bad trip at a party, just flopping in and out of this dude's arms. It was crazy. But that's the kind of activities that they got going on at these migrant shelters. The migrants at the migrant shelters even say it's crazy. They talking about, oh, sleep with one eye because, these people are doing crazy things. They stealing, people getting in fight. They're getting in fight every 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. It's ridiculous. We are doing this not just because it's the right thing to do for the migrants in the city of New York, Hochul said. We also know that companies won't do business in New York if there are thousands of people sleeping on the streets or the quality of life is dramatically impacted because the city is forced to cut essential services. Would you guys do business in a city where it was converted into an entire city of Skid Row? Shout out to DSB. What's good with it, bro? Would you guys do that? How many of you all would do business in a city where the entire city was Skid Row? You walk out of the place of business and get busted upside your head and robbed. You know what I'm saying? Who would do that? Me personally, I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Both Adams and Hochul said the federal government should ultimately be responsible for fixing the situation on the southern border and said the cost of caring for migrants would decrease as more of them were authorized to work. That's not true. That's not true. How? How can you show a correlation between the cost of caring for migrants and them working decreasing? How can that correlation be proven? The cost of caring for migrants would decrease when there's less migrants. Or when there's less money allocated to the situation in general. The only way to decrease the cost of caring for migrants is to reduce the number of migrants, period. Which means that you got to tighten up on border security. That's the only way to deal with this particular problem. Neither the Democrats or the Republicans want to truly deal with this problem. Neither one of these fake political parties wants to deal with the actual border issue. Eliminating cost means eliminating the problem of the cost, period. Now, people don't like those AI type rationales, but it doesn't matter. What matters is what's right. That's the only way to decrease the cost. If you guys agree, decreasing the number of migrants is how you decrease the cost, and give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. If you first of all, who in here knows the number of job slots that are available that a migrant can walk right into as soon as they get processed? We don't have a number of jobs. So to sit there and say that these phantom jobs are going to satisfy the migrant crisis is a lie. It's based in assumptions that are not based in any type of calculation, which means that all they're doing is just telling you what you want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Which is, as we know, that's what politicians are good at. The governor proposed a $233 billion budget that closes a $4.3 billion budget deficit. State Budget Director Blake Washington said that estimates on tax revenue have ticked up since the state's most recent projections in the fall, covering some of the shortfall. Hochul proposed scaling back planned increases in aid to school districts to reflect declining enrollment and cash balances that some districts are holding. Hochul said she isn't proposing any income tax increases. Progressive members of the Democratic-controlled legislature have already begun pushing for additional taxes to increase spending on healthcare and climate programs. Top Democrats in the state legislature refused to rule out a tax hike and expressed immediate skepticism over rolling back planned education funding. Republicans said the governor was wrong to prioritize migrant funding over school aid. I mean, yeah, she's right. Why are we writing that as if it's an opinion? That's an actual fact. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys agree with this individual here, the Republican that said the governor is wrong to prioritize migrant funding over school aid? That person is absolutely right. I don't care if it says Republican in front of their name or not. That's a correct statement. That's a correct statement. But now, what I feel, based on my observation, is that there's not a lot of people in New York City who are as outraged as people watching it from the outside. But that could be wrong. I could have an incorrect interpretation, but that's just what I see. It seems like the people in New York, you know, in some areas they're upset, right? But in areas where they're upset, it's the usual people that are upset. Not like in Chicago, where Chicago, the black people are making a big, you know, a lot of noise and being seen. You don't really see a team of people in New York City doing this. Why do you guys think that is? Why do you think the dynamics of fighting against this are different in Chicago than they are in New York City? If you ask me, the people of Chicago, the black people of Chicago, are doing a far superior job to anybody in New York City. You see the same people on the news in Chicago. The people in Chicago are consistent. You see these people in Chicago being active and getting active at the city council meetings. Is there any familiar face from New York City that you see that you know? Who are the flagship people at the front fighting this in New York City? Shout out to Robb. Robb says Pew said 30% of blacks in New York City are immigrants. You think that has anything to do with it? If you guys think that the 30% of New Yorkers that are immigrants, if that has something to do with the New York City complacency, give me a thumbs up. If it doesn't, give me a thumbs down. I think Robb is actually onto something, because they probably are looking at this, and in some weird way they're trying to find a way to relate to it. Oh, this was us a couple years ago. This was us a couple months ago. You know what I'm saying? It's like, really? That's what happens when you get the population numbers artificially changed to where it impacts political interests. You got immigrants dictating American policy, which is absurd. However, though, there's no need to be newly outraged about that, because that's been going on forever now, especially with organizations like the AIPAC. The United States has been out of line as far as not taking care of its interests and looking at other people first, let alone dealing with anything that's required or necessary for black people. You know what I'm saying? New York City seeks $708 billion from bus companies for transporting migrants from Texas. The bus wars. We got the bus wars popping off. New York City thinks that they're going to get $708 million from bus companies for transporting migrants from Texas. Let me ask you guys a question. You guys think they're going to get this? Shout out to my man, John Guillory. What's good with it, bro? If you guys think that New York City will successfully get this, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't think that they will, then give me a thumbs down. If you guys think that this is going to go down, if you guys think that they're going to get this, give me a thumbs up. If you guys think that they're not, then give me a thumbs down. Let me know. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we got 41 people watching, and we got 29 likes. We need 60 likes with 41 people watching, guys. You know what I'm saying? Help your boy out. If you guys haven't shared the stream, please take a moment and share the stream from wherever you're watching. All right. So now here it says New York City is seeking $708 million in a lawsuit filed on Thursday against 17 charter bus transportation companies who brought migrants from Texas as part of Governor Greg Abbott's border plan. Mayor Eric Adams alleged that the companies transported tens of thousands of people over the past 2 years, quote unquote, without paying to care for them, and the influx has overwhelmed the city's social service system. Now, I think that is interesting, right? That Mayor Eric Adams is saying that he's criticizing Texas for not paying to care for them. Texas doesn't have to pay to care for them. It's New York City that's silly that wants to pay for them. You know what I'm saying? Would you guys agree? Texas isn't under any obligation to pay for them. Texas isn't a sanctuary state. You, Eric Adams, are the mayor of a sanctuary city, which means that everyone, your party has open borders and you supply the drinks and the food, my guy. Sanctuary cities got open bar, buffet, and unlimited invite. Isn't that how it works? If you go to Club Sanctuary, shout out to Club Sanctuary on Migrant Night. On Migrant Night, we got free drinks, open bar, open buffet, and everybody's invited. We don't even have bouncers at the door. And if you get in a fight in the club, nobody gonna say anything. You're not going to jail for it. Isn't that how it gets down at Club Sanctuary? Playing reggaeton and merengue all night long at Club Sanctuary. You know what I'm saying? That's how it goes. Now he mad about it. Make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says Governor Abbott's continued use of migrants as political pawns is not only chaotic and inhumane, but it makes clear he puts politics over people, Adams said Thursday. What this actually translates to is Governor Abbott doing this makes me have to do my job. And that's annoying because I want to chill at the Barclays and eat shrimp and fettuccine all day. That's what that actually means. Yeah, bring your tent and you get $10 off at the door. You know what I'm saying? If your ID says that your residence is tent, you know what I'm saying, you get a free top shelf drink. You know what I mean? So now here it says the Texas governor said he sent nearly 100 migrants from the southern border to other cities under Operation Lone Star. Last month, New York City recorded 14,700 migrant arrivals, including 14 buses in a single night. So it was going down. They had the tour buses. They heard about Club Sanctuary and said, let's go. We finna take the party bus. I don't know if you guys know about the party bus, but the party bus had LED lights all up in there. You know what I'm saying? They had a blackjack table back there. They had roulette up in there. They even had a concert on the bus. You know what I'm saying? And it was lit. All on the way to Club Sanctuary. 14 buses, man. Partying all night long. Happy New Year. You know what I'm saying? Officials in New York, Chicago, and Denver have said that they've been struggling to accommodate the large swaths of people, many of whom arrive with no support systems, housing, or money, and overwhelm emergency shelters. Then they need to stop coming. Stop inviting them. Stop doing things like telling them we'll pay for your entire life if you come here. We'll give you free health care. Now, New York City, shout out to 50 Cent, shout out to the G Unit. The United States has been telling these people, have a baby on me, baby. Be a millionaire. I write the check before the court date. Who the hell cares? You know what I'm saying? They've been telling the migrants, come get money. Come get money. Come get money. That's what they do up in New York City. They turn every song that come out of that city into an actual reality. Come get money. Money we got. You know what I'm saying? That's what I told you guys on that one live stream on BLR1. Eric Adams ain't doing nothing but sitting up here top shilling. You know what I mean? They literally tell these migrants, come over here, have a baby on me. Who the hell cares? We'll write the check to the migrants. Be a millionaire. They literally doing that. Make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says the lawsuit filed in state Supreme Court Thursday comes 1 week after Adams signed an executive order restricting where and when buses carrying migrants drop off passengers in the city. Within days, bus drivers began dropping passengers off at Jersey train stations instead. And they're using the same strategy in Chicago. In Chicago, the strategy that they're using is that they're dropping the migrants off in the suburbs of Chicago. And the people in the suburbs of Chicago have started to draft up ordinances and started to draft up policies to try to restrict these people from doing this. None of it's working, of course, but they're trying it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Miss Nisi for being a bot enforcer. Appreciate it. Abbott started sending migrants by bus to what he described as self-declared sanctuary cities. I mean, is he now? Let's ask this question here. Is he simply describing these as self-declared sanctuary cities, or are these actually self-declared sanctuary cities? What's going on here, guys? Help me out. Abbott started sending migrants by bus to what he described as self-declared sanctuary cities. Are all of the places that got migrants, are they actual sanctuary cities or are they self-declared sanctuary cities? Which one? Shout out to DSA. Don't let the media just feed you a line of nonsense and then, you know what I'm saying, get upset that they did it. That's what they're going to try to do. Question this stuff. You know what I'm saying? In April of 2022, including Washington, D.C., New York City, Chicago, Philadelphia, Denver, and Los Angeles. He has repeatedly slammed President Joe Biden for his immigration plan, alleging Texas border towns have been overwhelmed by the border crisis. Some of the Democratic city leaders have also joined in calling for more federal support. New York City is seeking $708 million from the companies, the amount spent in caring for the migrants transported in from Texas. Why is New York City charging Texas for migrants being brought in from Texas, but they're not charging the federal government? Why is that? How come New York City hasn't sued the federal government to try to get the money, but they're suing the Texas bus company? What do you guys think? Any answers for any of those questions? The lawsuit alleges the companies have significantly profited from Abbott's plan, as they make about $1,650 per person compared to about $300 for a single one-way ticket. Governor Abbott continues to use human beings as political pawns, which, I mean, again, you know, if you call yourself a migrant or if you call yourself a sanctuary city and you actually don't want to provide sanctuary, is that not using people as political pawns as well? Is that not using people as political pawns as well? Let me know. Is that fair game? Because to me, anytime I hear these Democrat cities say, why are we using people as political pawns, I kind of just sit there and hear them say, why are you doing what we're doing? That's our tactic. You need to find something else to do. When they're both doing the same thing. You know what I mean? Shout out to Ruthless Millennium. Ruthless Millennium says, ding, ding, ding. Exactly. Yeah. You know what I mean? So now here it says, and it's about time that companies facilitating his actions take responsibility for their role in this ongoing crisis, said New York Governor Kathy Hochul. If they are getting paid to break the law by transporting people in need of public assistance into our state, they should be on the hook for the cost of sheltering those individuals, not just passing the expense of hardworking New Yorkers. Now, let me tell you something about Democrat hypocrisy. Democrats believe that people who live in states where abortions are illegal should be able to travel to states where abortions are legal to get abortions, right? But they're against people not being in sanctuary places being transported to sanctuary places. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. So you do believe that people who live in states where abortions are illegal should be able to make plans out of state and get an abortion done in a place where it is legal, but you don't believe that people who are seeking sanctuary in a place that's not a sanctuary state shouldn't be able to get shipped to some place that is offering sanctuary. Does that make sense? If that makes sense, give me a thumbs up. If it does not make any sense, give me a thumbs down. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says the governor said on Thursday the lawsuit was baseless. Every migrant bused or flown to New York City did so voluntarily after having been authorized by the Biden administration to remain in the United States, Abbott said. As such, they have constitutional authority to travel across the country that Mayor Eric Adams is interfering with. If the mayor persists in this lawsuit, he may be held legally accountable for his violations. Most of the companies named in the lawsuit are based in Texas. So these are all the companies that are named in the lawsuit. All right. So now we're going to talk about Abbott's border plan, which we've talked about Abbott's border plan plenty of times. You know, it's actually, matter of fact, running out of time. We don't need to talk about Abbott's border plan. If you don't know about Abbott's border plan, if you subscribe to any one of my channels, just watch one of the videos with Abbott on the thumbnail, and you'll probably get the hint by the end of it. You know what I'm saying? All right, so shout out to AB Promotions again, because AB Promotions provided this article in the Discord. If you're not part of the Discord, take a moment and join the Discord. The link is pinned in the comment section. Also, what I need everybody to do is do the survey. I need somebody to tell me what the percentage of notifications is from Discord. It should be right in that survey. All right. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna try to get there we go. There we go. You guys see how the New York Post is tripping? Look at how bad that is. Look at that. Hold on real quick. What does this try to reload? Oh, wait a minute. There it goes. There it goes. Hold on. All right. They really need to get some new people to run their programming at New York a lot better, man. This is really bad. You know what I'm saying? So now New York inks $77 million emergency hotel contract to shelter migrant crisis. It doesn't really seem like they're trying to appropriately deal with that budget. Does it? Does it seem like it? Not when you're doing stuff like this, it doesn't. Let's see what your boy Mayor Eric Adams got to say. What you guys think your boy Mayor Eric Adams got to say about this right here? It amazes me how at the State of the City address, you can sit there and talk about all of these things that you plan on doing and all of these ways that you save the city money, and then immediately after that, you come with this nonsense. It's just amazing. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed the like button, take a moment, smash that like button. If you haven't subscribed, if you haven't hit the bell, if you're not subscribed to my other social media, take a moment, make sure you guys do all of that.
If we would have,
look at that. This thing don't even want Eric Adams to say anything.
stated of, you know, you can stay here as long as you want. With taxpayers going to pay for your food, your clothing, of your lifestyle for as long as you want. That is just not economically realistic, and is unfair to taxpayers, is unfair to migrants and asylum seekers. And so our humane policy that is, we're telling single adults 30 days, children and families 60 days.
Now, again, here goes my question. Why are single families even there at these hotels and migrant shelters? Why are they housing single families? All right, Miss Nisi, I see you over there. That's my question, guys. Why are they even housing single people? Make it make sense.
If we would have, you can stay as long as you want with taxpayers stated you can stay as long as you want with taxpayers going to pay for your food, your clothing, your lifestyle for as long as you want. That is just not economically realistic, and is unfair to taxpayers, is unfair to migrants and asylum seekers. And so our humane policy that is, we're telling single adults 30 days, children and families 60 days, and we are not going to allow any child or family to sleep on the street. I said that over and over again.
All right, so there's that. All right, so let's see. Yeah, there we go. Let's do that. All right, cool. Pause that. All right, cool. All right. So now here it says Mayor Eric Adams' administration has inked a new emergency $76.69 million contract with the Hotel Association of New York City to provide last resort shelter to migrant families. All right. 15 hotels in Brooklyn, Queens, and the Bronx will make blocks of rooms available for asylum-seeking families for up to 28 days under the quote-unquote vouchering program running through July. Now, let me ask you guys this question. How much money do you all think that that these vouchers would be worth? How much money do you all think that these vouchers would be worth? Let me know what you guys think. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we got the first stream sponsor. Shout out to my man Jerry Bedford with the $20 super chat. Make sure you guys throw some radiation emoji and some flames in the chat. My man Jerry Bedford said, I think Eric Adams is done. I gotta agree. It's over. He's literally trying to make it where he can't even have a job in politics anymore, if you ask me. He's just burning any type of future opportunity that he has away. You know what I'm saying? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. And also make sure you guys shout out Jerry Bedford, show him some love, because as you guys know, all the any type of support that we get goes directly back into the channel. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Jerry Bedford. You know what I'm saying? He just got y'all together for at least a month more of content. So now here it says, we're not going to allow a child or family to sleep on the streets, Eric Adams said during a press conference Tuesday. The migrant crisis has been a boon to the hotel industry, still emerging from loss of business during the C-19 pandemic. The Post reported in September that the city extended contracts with the Hotel Association for 3 years at a staggering price of $1.3 billion, nearly 5 times the original $275 million deal, just to pay rental fees for more than 100 hotels that were converted into emergency shelters. Okay. And I don't know if you guys have seen them, but these are some nice hotels. How many people have seen them? The Roosevelt Hotel and all that. They did a little video where they showed the inside of the Roosevelt Hotel. It's nicer than any hotel that I've ever stayed in. And I've actually paid to stay in mine. How many people ever stayed in one of them nasty hotels with the green swimming pool water? People actually got to pay to stay in the hotel with the green swimming pool water. You know what I'm saying? They got sous chefs at places like this, at the places like the Roosevelt. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay top dollar for that green swimming pool water. And they sitting up here getting sous chef food for free. They doing it right, man. You know what I'm saying? They doing it right. They getting treated right, they is. So now here it says there are currently 493 households receiving shelter under the program administered by the City Department of Housing and Preservation. The city has made managing the costs of the asylum seeker a crisis a priority. So we've worked with them to ensure the costs and commitments of housing newcomers in our hotels were as low as possible, said Vijay. That's I wouldn't want that as my name. I wouldn't want that as my name. Would you guys want that as your name, Vijay? I don't know about that one. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about that one. You know, sometimes, you know, you kind of be roasting people for changing their name, but I give him a pass on that. Oh, bro, your name is Vijay? Yeah, go ahead and go change that. Go over there to the Office of Vital Statistics and go and go take care of that. You know what I'm saying? Oh man. Okay, shout out to JW. VJ. All right, VJ. Got you, VJ. All right. So VJ, Dan DePanny. That's still an interesting last name. Dan DePanny. Okay. President and CEO of the Hotel Association, New York City. All right. We're proud of the work we've done as an industry to aid the city in its mission to care for asylum seekers who arrive in New York. We are corporate citizens and New Yorkers ourselves, and our businesses rely on immigrants every day, added Dan DePandy. According to HPD, the new contract formalizes ongoing work between HPD and HANYC since July of 2023 and funds the program through 2024. The city has provided more than 3,000 hotel rooms to migrant households through this program. Okay. So we're running out of time. We're not going to be able to finish this entire article, but you guys get the point. And the point is that New York City made $77 million appear out of nowhere like magic to spend on situations that have already cost New York City massive amounts of money. Okay. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Jerry Bedford, the sole stream sponsor with the 20 ducats. Definitely appreciate it. Please show him some love. Throw some radiation emoji in the chat. Sorry, guys, that I had to rush through this. Me and TD got just talking with TD coming up. You don't have to move a muscle in order to get there. All you got to do is just stay in the stream. At the end of the stream, it'll take you right in, and we will probably be live at that point. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always,
walk up in the life. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. Hold up. Look, walking this bitch like, hey. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, hey. I'm really him. Don't believe me? Come and see me. Got 3 wishes from my genie. Now I'm on your local TV. Y'all on tour. Got demons. Say she wanna come and see me when I'm in a local city. I'm like, pause though. Please step aside so they can see me. And I walk up in this like, yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, I'm really him. Oh God. Walk up in this like, yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, I'm really him. I'm the realest from my city. That's on money, that's on TV, that's on mamas. Niggas don't believe me, come and see me. I been dodging all that fake. All these niggas working broke, but I been getting paid. All that know me from the street. Active for what feature? That's like every other week. Talk behind my back. I kick my feet up, have a seat. Cause at the end of the day, all these watching me as I walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, I'm really him. Oh God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, I'm really him. Oh God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, I'm really him. Hold up. Look, walking this bitch like, hey, yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, hey.